Hi, today we've got Doug Coull from SmartSearch. Doug, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it very, very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's a real pleasure to be here with you.
Absolutely. So Doug, tell me a little bit about your role at SmartSearch and really what SmartSearch is all about.
Well, back when I was young, about 32 years ago or so, I was working in a staffing firm and management and just had piles of resumes on all my recruiters' desks and piles on the floor, piles in the cars. The way we used to find candidates was to look through those piles of resumes, and which, wasn't very efficient, but it was what we had.
Mm-hmm.
And I got interested in computer technology at that time, so I started going to some big, computer trade shows and stuff up in the LA area, and I saw some scanners, and I saw some kind of products that could search text, and I had an idea that maybe there could be a better way, and so I started doing some research on my own, and basically came up with a prototype of a scanner with text recognition and some text searching software, and it seemed to work really well. I showed it to a bunch of people that I knew. Everybody thought, wow. So I ended up starting this business.
Mm-hmm.
And we had the first system on the marketplace, commercially in production, that basically allowed people to scan resumes. And back then that was a big deal.
Right.
Because, there wasn't a whole lot of email going on of resumes.
Right.
Of course, now that's gone. Everything is text, and it's just a standard feature in products like ours. But that's kind of how we got started, and we got some really loyal customers. In fact, I think of our first 10 customers, I think we still have 6 of them after 30 plus years. So
that's great.
I'm excited about that.
So what exactly does SmartSearch do today? Because as it stands today, you can, send out emails fairly easily and attach resumes. What does SmartSearch do today? What's the business problem it solves?
Well, obviously systems and software and technology has evolved a little bit over the last 30 years, just a few minor improvements, including the internet is now a real thing.
Right.
So, and we adapted to the times. We used to have a Unix-based system and a client server system. Now it's a software as a service solution. So that was a huge change.
Okay.
And basically, we're a very innovative operation. We're not a huge company. We employ rapid development techniques in our programming and engineering, and so we're able to, get a good handle on available technology and put it to use for our clients. So right now, the product is, we think, one of the leading applications for basically managing the recruitment, the sourcing of people. We have interfaces that point to the individual users at our customers and also to the general public for candidates. And so we've got a very well-rounded product. Yeah, you can still manage resumes, and our searching has continued to be a real kind of hallmark of the product, because we've got some great searching technologies. And in addition to just searching like customers' own databases, with one search, our customers are able to search their own database of resumes, plus all the big available public resume databases, so Monster, Career Builder, Dice, and a number of others, all with one search, and then get a ranked result back. So instead of just looking at the best people from one database, you get the best people from many different databases. Okay. Big time saver.
Yeah, it's a huge saver. It sounds like you're essentially doing what I would maybe call, customizing the hiring workflow, right? And on top of that, it sounds like you're, you offer everything. It seems like when it comes to solving the hiring problem is how I'm looking at it. And you've been able to keep up with it over a long period of time.
We like to think we're kind of leading the innovative technology development in this field, because we've had a lot of industry firsts over the years, including being the first company to offer a mobile interface. We were the first one to offer, like I said, the multi-database searching. We've been very innovative in terms of social media, because we recognize the changing in terms of sourcing.
Right.
So now we're able to look up directly into sites like LinkedIn, Facebook, and a number of other ones. And not only for sourcing, but for promoting our customers' brands. They have a lot of social media tools available to them inside the product.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a big product, and we go around and around sometimes because it's got so many features.
Right.
And one of the real challenges for people like us, for organizations like us, is to put a product out there that the people can use, without having to, kill themselves with weeks and weeks of training. So
right.
I think one of the real big things that we like to talk about is the configurability of our product. And we don't sell custom software. What we sell is a very configurable kind of off-the-shelf solution. So people can get rid of the stuff they're not using.
Yep.
They can completely control the workflow that they have for not only one job, but for pretty much any kind of job. We have unlimited, basically configurable workflow support. And that's a big deal.
Sure.
Because we come into organizations and we have ideas about what best practices are, and we make a lot of recommendations, but ultimately we have to support our customers' environment.
Right.
And so I think we do a good job of that.
Very cool. Very cool. Now, over the last 30 plus years, I'm sure you've got some competitors now, right, in the space. So how do you differentiate yourself from those competitors?
It's a great question.
Yeah.
And of course it's very important. And so we do that in a couple ways. One of the biggest things for us is that we take customer service very seriously, and everybody pays lip service to customer service,
Sure.
but we really deliver. We spend far more on our development and technical support and customer support than we do in any other area of our organization. And that alone sets us apart, because, a lot of our competitors, we feel, are marketing companies, not software companies.
Got it.
They spend all their money on marketing,
Yep.
and they do business, and then they fall down when it comes to servicing the customers. We view every customer relationship as a partnership.
Right.
And we get upwards of 85% of our new features and functions from our customers. And
Okay.
so we really work closely with them to make sure that as they move into new generations and new ways of doing stuff, that we're going to be there to support them. And I think that sets us apart. I mean, we have features and functions that, I could go on and on about.
Sure.
But, suffice it to say, we're very innovative. We get stuff done in a hurry. We're able to kind of change direction very rapidly when needed. And but we take care of our customers, and that, I think, goes a long way towards explaining why we have such a great customer retention. I mean, keeping even any customer for 30 plus years, I think that's quite an achievement.
Yeah, sure.
And
hopefully you're not charging them the same rate. Right.
Well, if it was in those same dollars.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, that's great. So what does it cost? While we're talking about money, I mean, really, what does it cost to engage?
It's basically a monthly fee. There's some fees up front that vary depending on the size of the organization, because there's usually also often a lot of configuration that we do up front. There's almost always data conversions, because now it's rare that you find a customer that's coming to us without a system.
Sure.
So we're very good at converting data, and we try to make the implementation something that kind of sets a stage for later. So there's some upfront fees for that vary quite a bit, but probably the minimum is around $3,500 upfront.
Okay.
And then our user fees are paid monthly, and it's on a sliding scale. So we have normally it's about, for a very small organization, maybe as little as $240 a month. But most of our customers kind of fall into this scaled pricing that I'm going to tell you right now. So it's usually the first 5 users start at 120. The next 10 users, and that's a month, start at 90 a month, and then all the users after that are 40. So basically, we have a lot of big customers, and they're paying. Those are those staggered rates. We think it's a pretty good deal.
Sure. No.
But we're not spending millions of dollars on, fancy marketing campaigns.
Sure.
So,
sure. You're investing on the product and the service side. That's great. What is, we're talking about how things have changed in the past and where you are today. Where do you see yourself you know, and I don't want to say the next 30 years. So I want to know, where do you see yourself in the next 2, 3, 4 years, really? Because, you know, technology tends to move a little bit faster now, it seems like.
Absolutely. Well, you know, one of the biggest challenges is to not try to overstep what you can do. You know, we want to be expert at what we do. We don't want to try to do too much. So what that means is that we need to be a very open organization with respect to working with other complementary services that are out there.
Okay.
So one of the things that we do is we're very aggressive in terms of forming partnerships with other organizations that offer services that are really good for our customers. And you asked me about differentiators, Gene, and I would like to mention this one. We do not make money from any of our business partners, because what we want to be able to say to our customers is, this is the best product to do this function. Like if you want a product that'll do background checks on people, well, we look at the products on the market and we try to figure out which are the best ones. And we can say to our customers with a clear conscience, this is good, not because they pay us the most, but because we know this works. So that sets us apart. Some of the other things that we're really involved in are basically improving, you know, and taking advantage, if you will, of a lot of the developments in terms of managing large data. Okay, and we recently introduced a really sophisticated semantic search product. And we are looking, of course, at the, you know, advances that are being made in artificial intelligence as well. And so we want to be able to take advantage of this stuff to offer our customers the best technology at a good price. And so, you know, people, a lot of times we get calls from prospects like, well, do you have artificial intelligence? And so the first thing we ask them is, what do you mean by that?
How do you
know, because people don't know what that is. Artificial intelligence is basically learning software. And it's expensive right now. And so to spend and invest a lot of money that ultimately might make a small difference in success, you know, we have to kind of weigh the advantages of where we're going. So, you know, continuing to work aggressively to serve our customers, that's never going to change. You know, looking and having an open product so that it's easy to integrate, I think that's really important. And like I said, just paying attention to the developments in key areas like artificial intelligence. I think those are really big.
Okay. So you got a lot of customers, sounds like, and you're all about service. So not a trick question, but one I want to know an answer to for sure. You know, what's the common complaint you hear about your product right now, and what are you doing to solve it?
You know, I think that one of the common complaints, and it's not necessarily unique to us, it's really any software vendor, is user adoption and user understanding of the product. It's really a continuing educational process, okay? And if you think, Jeevan, in your own experience, and I can tell you from mine for sure, I use a lot of pieces of software. I use Microsoft Word, I use Microsoft Excel, for example. How much of those do I use? Not very much. Maybe 10% of what those are available. But they, you know, big products and big companies like Microsoft, they don't really, you know, to them, if I use only 5% of Microsoft Excel, they could care less. For us, it's a lot more important. Okay. So what we do, and so in terms of complaints, you know, a lot of stuff is just, you know, there's turnover within organizations. There's new initiatives within organizations. And so you have to be prepared to constantly be on the lookout for customers that aren't utilizing the product. And so we have some neat stuff inside of our product that shows us what, like we can take any customer and we have a routine that allows us to look and see which features of the product they're using and which they aren't using. And so we try to have an aggressive and active, proactive approach to making sure that people get the most out of the software. Because that, you know, a lot of times, you know, and like you mentioned before, we have a lot of competition. The competition is out there. They want our business. So they're going to be pitching things to customers. And a lot of times we have that stuff. Almost always we do, but our customer may not know. So we'll get a like, well, you know, XYZ vendor has this feature. When are you going to have that? Well, we already have it. Is usually our answer. So we have A lot of webinars we put on, not only for our product, but also just industry experts. Those are free for all of our customers. We have online training that's available. All of our training sessions are recorded and made available for our customers.
Okay.
And we have a kind of a service that we do for our customers called system optimization, where we come in, we run the routines to identify what they're using and what they're not using. We evaluate their branding. We try to make recommendations. Well, we do make recommendations. We try to get them to take our recommendations on best practices for managing customer experience, because their customer in most cases is candidates. And you have to have a multifaceted approach to offer candidates a good experience.
Okay. So Doug, I want to go ahead and sign up, right? So how do I sign up? So the question is like, I've got, certainly we've got a ton of visitors coming to our website that are looking for software solutions like yours, right? To solve their HR related issues. So what's the best way to, spit out your domain if that's the way that people sign up, or what's the best way to actually, connect with you folks?
Best way to connect with us is on the internet, amazingly.
Surprise.
And our website is the shortest one, I'll give you the short one, www.aps2k.com.
APS2K. Okay.
Go there and you can learn about the product. You can request a demonstration right there, or you can call us at 760-941-2800, and we're always happy to hear from new prospects.
Well, Doug, I appreciate your time very much today. Certainly learned a lot, and would recommend, highly recommend really all our visitors to, if they're looking for an HR solution to streamline their employee acquisition processes, certainly check out SmartSearch. I again appreciate your time very much.
You know what? Thank you so much, Steve. I really appreciate the opportunity to come on with you, and it's been a great pleasure chatting with you.
Likewise.
Thanks a lot.